This is the recording for the Week 7 quiz in U.S. history. So let's start with question number 1. Which of the following is not a way the Great Depression impacted ordinary Americans? Businesses laid off workers or had to close their doors. People lost their savings due to bank failures. Families had little money to buy what they needed. Or the government provided immediate relief through stimulus checks. Question number 2. Based on your knowledge of U.S. history, what is the writer referring to in the following lyrics from Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Quote, Once I built a railroad, I made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower up to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? So that cities could not have been built without the work he did on the railroad. Hard work and determination is what makes the U.S. a great country to live. The quick transition from the U.S. being a prosperous society to a struggling economy. Or the Great Depression was caused by the development of cities. Question number 3. Which best describes the causes of the Dust Bowl during the 1930s? Poor farming practices were used while a long drought made the land very dry. The stock market crashed in 1929, leading to a loss in work. Herbert Hoover built the Hoover Dam as part of his public works project. Farmers in Texas and Oklahoma abandoned their farms to search for jobs. Question number 4. What was the main factor leading to Roosevelt easily defeating Hoover in the 1932 election? The start of World War II allowed Roosevelt to become the favorite as he had experience in the Navy. Hoover lost popularity due to his slow response in dealing with the Great Depression. During the 1932 election, Roosevelt ran on a platform of small government and little intervention to improve the economic downturn. Or Hoover was caught taking bribes from city officials, which destroyed his reputation as a progressive president. Question number 5. What was significant about Roosevelt's first 100 days in office? Roosevelt used the first 100 days to carefully assess the economic situation in America before he attempted to pass legislation. Quote, the Great Society programs went into effect to address the issues of poverty. It was the most efficient executive and legislative action in history as he began passing his New Deal policies. Or it was the first time that a president was elected for more than 2 terms. Question number 6. What were the 3 stages of the New Deal? Select all 3. There's recovery, relief, reorganize, and reform. So make sure that you select all 3 that are stages of the New Deal. Question 7. Which best describes how the New Deal increased the power of the government? It extended the government's responsibility to provide aid to the unemployed and poor. It temporarily expanded the size of the government during times of war, but after World War II, all the new reforms ended. It allowed the president to bypass Congress and set up a House of Representatives. Or it limited the power of the president, but extended the power of the Supreme Court as more justices were appointed. Question 8. Why did the Supreme Court declare that programs such as the Agricultural Adjustment Act and the National Industrial Recovery Act were unconstitutional? The programs violated the Civil Rights Act by discriminating against people of color. These acts did not do enough to address the issues of unemployment in America. Both of these programs were signed into action by Roosevelt without being passed by Congress first. Or these programs extended the power of the federal government beyond what the Constitution allowed. Question number 9. What was a major criticism of Roosevelt's New Deal programs? Everyone loved it as it quickly brought an end to the Great Depression. The New Deal was a major cause leading to the Great Depression. It focused government money on the war efforts rather than helping the unemployed. Or it did not end the Great Depression and allowed the government to extend its power. And the last question, question 10, which is an example of action taken by both President Hoover and President Roosevelt to deal with the Great Depression? Create public works projects to build roads, bridges, dams, etc. Create social security to provide benefits to retired people. Insured banks to protect people's money from bank failures. Or pack the Supreme Court. When you're done, look over your answers and click Submit Quiz to finish.